thought that they would come after us, even though I thought Lud would be good because he went to Arizona, which is like, you know, they literally give degrees on beer pong there, which was surprising. It sold out already? Oh, it sold out yesterday? So that was kind of sad. I know that my man AZ isn't ASU. Did he, where did he go? Did he go to Arizona University or University of Arizona, or did he go to Arizona State? It doesn't matter though. Both are like, both basically are the same. Anyone who thinks that they're different from the point of view of like, from the point of view of being a party school is fucking stupid. U of A isn't as insane as ASU. They are both incredibly big party schools, dude. You're crazy. Wrong. Okay. Okay, dude. God, the hottest girls go to UA and ASU. Who cares what the difference is? This is true. You think Lud got invited to parties? Probably not. I don't know. He was an English major. People call Rutgers a party school too. I mean, Rutgers is a party school as well. The only reason why Arizona schools rank high in engineering is because of their proximity to defense contractors. Anyway, University of Arizona is a STEM university compared to ASU. You are wrong. I know. My brother is STEM from Rutgers. I know. You can still be a party school and have a good STEM program. He has story time about parties and now he got kicked out of his frat for being awkward. So, anyway, beat their ass. I also ordered, Will and I ordered like $500 worth of fucking Shake Shack to the party. That was my addition to the party, basically. And Will got fucked up. So I had to drive his car, and he stole a box of limited edition Courage game fuel. And then as payment, like while we were leaving on the way out, he just like took a box. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. He's like, dude, they have so much. He goes, they have so much, dude. And he took Courage's like, because he had boxes and boxes and boxes of like game fuel. And he took one box and he just yoinked it. And then as payment, he gave me like most of them. So now I have Courage's game fuel in my fridge, which I will be drinking later. It's very good. I liked it. So technically, I stole them. Okay. What flavor is it? It's like you're an accomplice and a getaway driver. Yes. I was the getaway driver, and I got paid in game fuel. Stealing from 100 Thieves, the Walgreens of esports. Yeah. Did Lud beat you in beer pong? Of course not, dude. Will and I crushed him. Absolutely destroyed them. Okay. Let's get into the news now, okay? Look, starting with 4th of July celebrations at the White House.
Independence from the coronavirus.
This year, the 4th of July is a day of special celebration, for we are emerging from the darkness of years.
In the largest event of his administration, President Biden hosting a barbecue for 1,000 military families and essential workers, and honoring the more than 603,000 American lives lost to COVID-19.
To heal,
hold on, I'm gonna grab my
we have to remember. We have to remember them, and we will.
The event coming after the Biden administration missed its goal of 70% of Americans receiving at least one vaccine shot by July 4th. The CDC reports 67% of U.S. adults have had one dose, and 58% are fully vaccinated. And a new ABC News Washington Post poll finds that among those unvaccinated, 74% say they're unlikely to get a shot.
My fellow Americans, it's the most patriotic thing you can do. So please, if you haven't gotten vaccinated, do it. Do it now.
The call to action all the more urgent with the highly contagious Delta variant now identified in all 50 states, accounting for more than 26% of new COVID cases nationwide.
We are seeing increases in cases in those areas in the country where there's lower vaccination rates.
Now, those concerns about the Delta.
Man, that's crazy, dude. Who would have thought?
The variant are getting amplified as U.S. road and air travel reaches pre-pandemic levels. Travel experts say to try to avoid busy roads, you should try to drive home before 1 p.m.
Who would have thought, dude? We already watched this. Customers fucking got together. And had a very patriotic scene in the Hazlet, Texas Walmart. Dude, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with these people, bro. I swear to God. Anyway, I'm drinking the Courageous Sherbet. Game fuel that Will stole from Courage. Very good. Had a bunch of these yesterday. No yerba mate, bro. Guys, yerba mate is not fucking 0 calories. Stop sending me yerba mate with the hopes that I drink it. The reason why I drink diet soda and fucking Game Fuel and shit like that is because it's caffeinated and it's 0 calories. And it doesn't fuck my fasting up, okay? Oh, here. We're going to talk about the billionaires going to Idaho in July. The Sun Valley Summer Camp. I talked about this earlier on my Instagram story. This is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, everybody always is upset and feels some type of way about conspiracies, about how, you know, wealthy people get together and secretly decide to do certain things, like that, to decide about the future of America or the future of the world. It's like they're not doing it in secret, dude. There is no Bohemian Grove. Like, this is straight up, like, Bohemian Grove is just a club. It's a club for rich people to be gay with one another at a time when they were not allowed to be gay in the open, okay? This is the real shit. This is where they go to plot. They do summits. They do Davos. Okay? Is this a Come Town bit? No, it's not. It's not a fucking bit at all. There is no, like, Illuminati. They just do it out in the open, and people are like, no, that's normal. But also Illuminati. It's like, why do you want to make something that occurs right in front of your eyes into something that is even more secretive than it actually is. Like, they don't need to hide any of this stuff. They get together and literally talk about wealth inequality and how to deal with wealth inequality. And yet people still want to act like there is something additionally secret. Okay? So let's see what this is about.
How do you know you found a super secret conference full of millionaires and billionaires in the middle of scenic Idaho? Well, you just count the private jets. This is Sun Valley, Idaho, population 1,400. But every July, the net worth of this town gets a major boost when the Allen and Company Conference, also known as Summer Camp for Billionaires, is in session. We're heading to a conference that's so secret it's not actually announced. There's no public guest list. There's no agenda. In fact, the only way we knew it was actually happening was by calling and finding out all the rooms at the hotel were sold out. There's a lot of people I know who think...
I mean, it's like, it's not necessarily a secret. It's just that, I guess it's more secret than like Davos. You know what I mean? But journalists are all over this year. I hadn't seen this much coverage of the Sun Valley shit this year. Like they don't really talk about it like this. And they haven't really talked about it like this until this year. So I guess it's like they're just kind of popping off this year on the conference itself, but it's not exactly a secret.
Think they are big CEOs who've never been invited here. I'm really not sure how much access we're actually going to get. We've been standing right out here for hours. This is as far as we're allowed to go. The press is not allowed to go inside the building, and the organizers will never confirm who's actually here. So the only way to know is actually to stand outside and watch them walk in. Tesla's Elon Musk, Disney's Bob Iger, CBS's Les Moonves, and Home Depot co-founder Ken Langone. These are...
Yeah, it's for like these billionaire freaks to be able to wear Patagonia vests and talk to one another about like what they're potentially going to do. Famously last or 2 years ago, I guess, or whenever fucking Jeff Bezos decided to buy the Washington Post, like this was the conference where he decided to buy it. It's basically all expenses paid get together that's thrown by a that's the Palantir CEO. Okay. It's thrown by, why are all billionaires bald? Because there's no cure for baldness. It's thrown by a smaller bank, like a smaller, I think it's a hedge fund or something. And the only thing that they demand of you for throwing this is like if you put together a deal, like they want to be in on it. Okay, that's it. They facilitate the deal. Allen and Co. Thank you. That's the name of the bank. Allen and Company is the investment firm. So that's what this is about.
Probably some of the busiest people on the planet. So I had one question. Why are they all here?
There's nothing like it. This is it. Media, entertainment, special subjects they have. It's a fabulous conference.
What do you most get out of this conference?
It's mostly about the ability to convene and to communicate directly with a lot of people. It would take me longer to get to all those people than it does here all in one place.
I gotta go.
Nice to see you all.
We needed to be back at 6 a.m.
The rich equivalent of y'all yesterday at the 100 Thieves compound? I guess. Kind of. Like, I'm not going to the 100 Thieves compound to do business deals. They're there to do business deals. They're all there to do business deals with one another. I'm going to the 100 Thieves compound because I want to fucking eat free food and hang out with other like people in my industry that I don't really get to see in person a lot. That comparison made 0 sense. You guys just got drunk and stole G Fuel? Yeah. Well, for them, it's like they have so much power. Like these people are literally the gatekeepers of all power on the planet. So obviously that's the main difference there, is that they have tremendous power. We do not. It's like comparing this to the 100 Thieves content house is like comparing the 100 Thieves content house gathering to, you know, your backyard barbecue, which is a significantly better comparison than comparing this to the 100 Thieves content house. That's what it is. It's a backyard barbecue.
To catch the attendees headed to breakfast.
Who knows here? I mean, it's the morning.
So this is how it works. They walk by, sometimes they make a joke, but they're not talking to us. They're not actually answering questions or revealing what's going on at the conference. Everything is treated as off the record, meaning they're not even supposed to talk about being here.
Good morning. Do you have a quick second?
No, I don't. Good morning.
Brian Sutter from CNN. Do you have a moment for us? Talk to CNN for a moment?
No.
Why the fuck is Chris Christie there, dude? Like, why does Chris Christie get invited to this? What kind of feedback is Chris fucking Christie going to have? Very strange.
No, not today, not today.
Can you talk to us about Apple News for a moment? Oh?
Now that's a motherfucker that's there for free food, okay? Chris Christie. Same, like if I was invited to some shit, if I was invited to an event, you bet your ass I'm there for free food. So same with Chris Christie.
I don't want to say I'm giving up entirely, but I'm definitely taking a lunch break.
Now, thankfully, Hollywood producer Brian Grazer saved me from a sugar overdose and agreed to talk with us off campus about what really goes on behind the scenes.
People aren't here with pads and
Okay, he's never getting invited back.
paper, taking notes. They're just getting to know each other, like getting to know how different people live, different people that have expertise, understand their expertise. You know, you see all of the media titans, they're sitting at the same table. They're all hanging out. They, of course, are competing on so many different levels, but in the very end, they all have humanity. They all
class solidarity. That's literally it. It's class solidarity. The thing that all billionaires and millionaires that are at this event, the thing that they all share is class solidarity. The thing that workers never have and never will have, because the billionaires and millionaires, the capital owners that have that class solidarity, do a very good job of making sure you don't. So guys, how do we fuck up the world for the next year? No, they get together and they talk about what are we going to do about the poors that are fucking losing their minds. That's what they talk about. They talk about, you know, riot tax, aka welfare. How much welfare is actually good? How much should we do to like fight back on climate change? I mean, this is not a secret either. Like, they talk about this openly. If you go to Davos with a quick Google search, you can figure out like what the events are, what the panelists speak about at these sorts of functions. It's, I mean, maybe with this one you can't figure it out because it's less formal. It's not a formal event. But with like Davos and shit and summits, it's literally not a secret. They talk about wealth inequality and how to deal with it. The difference is, when we talk about wealth inequality and how to deal with it, we have drastically different opinions than how they want to deal with it. And the main difference is that the way that they want to deal with it is actually how wealth equality is dealt with in the end, because they have all the power. The number one Davos problem polled was fucking regulation, and the last place problem was climate change. We're all going to die. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's it. They talk about wealth inequality and then, you know, hide their assets in overseas tax havens and make sure to further deregulate the government.
understand how hard the game really is.
I would love to be involved in this in any way, shape, or form. I would die to just like be able to ask questions at an event like this. It would be very interesting.
They want each other to win. They want the business to win.
While my journalistic pride was a little bruised, these executives are encouraged not to talk to people like me. They come here for the opposite reason, to ditch their corporate suits and have some straight talk with their peers. Whatever they're plotting, I certainly don't know what it is yet. But hey, there is always next year.
I mean, I'll tell you what they fucking plotted. The plot that they came up with was not the business plot, which is kind of a funny way to yeah, they're just doing the business plot again, dude. But instead of FDR, but to Joe Biden. So this is from 2015, and this is like ongoing this year as well. But what I was going to talk about is it's still the same shit. It's at the same place in Sun Valley, Idaho. The thing that they plotted was ethical capitalism. Remember that Johnny Harris video that came out about how there could be an ethical stakeholder capitalism. That was what they wanted to rebrand as. Stakeholder capitalism, like reshifting the effort and energy and the fiduciary responsibility away from shareholder capitalism to stakeholder capitalism, and adding more emphasis on not necessarily the workers, but just the environment, stuff like that. That was what came out of this conference, okay? And as we all know, it's not necessarily a solution. Yeah, the one that was sponsored by the Writers for Stakeholder Capitalism, exactly. It's shit like that. It's always about how to suppress the pores. Like, it's a delicate balance. Okay? It's always a delicate balance to give people enough that they don't recognize that they're pushed into a fucking corner and they have to fight their way out of it, but not so much that they are comfortable enough to rise up. Okay? If you're well fed, you might be able to actually fight back. If you're starving, then you might actually have no other option but to fight back. So it's always the carrot and the stick, trying to figure out that delicate balance. And that's precisely what they get together and talk about. And it's not even like a hidden idea. It's not like a secret. It's not a conspiracy. Some of those people legitimately think that they have the right opinions in mind, that they feel as though, again, most of those people legitimately feel that capitalism is great and the exploitation under capitalism is far preferable to the exploitation that you experienced in the USSR or whatever the fuck. And so they honestly and earnestly feel as though their opinions and solutions are for the better good without rocking the boat too much. They don't think about it as though they don't think about it from the point of view of like, we have so much wealth that we could single-handedly, like every person there, if they pulled together 1% of their entire net worth, just 0.5% of their entire net worth of all the people that are there, they could solve global power. They could eradicate global poverty. Okay? So, they don't think about that. That's out of the question. It's also not a perfect solution regardless. It would be a band-aid. Give a smart rich guy $1,000, he will invest it and make $1 million out of it. Give a poor guy $1,000 and he will waste it on health insurance and rent. This is a troll, right? Like, I don't think this person is aware of what they're saying. Just invest with your money and stop being poor, lol. It's got to be a joke, right? Yeah, okay, good. I wonder if there's more. I want to see if there's more content on Sun Valley shit. I want to see what the fuck they... I guess Chris Christie was there because it was in 2015, by the way. That was probably the reason why Chris Christie was there. Six years ago. Why do CEOs go to Sun Valley? There isn't anything new from this year yet. There's a Cheddar video
Every
on
year
it.
in Sun Valley, Idaho, the world's most elite media and tech leaders gather for a week of media.
Oh, this is from 2 years ago, but they're using the same old like footage from the last time. Give a starving man a fish and you feed him for a day. Give him a fishing pole and watch him die because he's literally starving. I invested $5 in Doge and now I have $1.50 left. That's called taking risks. Oh, this is 2018. Oh, what the fuck? It said on the when I Google searched it, it said it was from 2 years ago. I don't know why. This shows how all corporate rivalry friendship is at least partially caused by these dudes just not liking/liking each other. No, I think there is like legitimately corporate rivalries out there for sure. Actually, I don't fucking know. There probably isn't. Yeah, it's probably like Twitch streamers, you know? Like most Twitch streamers like each other. You know what I mean? It is probably like that. Now that I think about it. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about Marvel's Captain America destroying the American dream in the new comic, dude.
Captain America on how America is built on lies. You got to hear this. Here's the quote.
We gotta get Tom Cotton on how Captain America is destroying America and the American dream.
Here's the thing about a dream, though. A dream isn't real. I'm starting to think America actually has two dreams and one lie. The first American dream is the one that isn't real. Is some people expect just to be handed to them, and then they get angry when it disappears. When the truth is, it never really existed in the first place. It doesn't get along nicely with reality. Other culture immigrants. The poor, we're at our best when we keep no one out. A good dream is shared radically, shared with everyone. When something isn't shared, I can become the American lie. I think this is such terrible rhetoric. I mean, it is true.
Why? Captain America is literally always like comic books are written by like nerdy degenerates, okay? They've always been written by outcasts that have a progressive slant for the most part. So it's not new to assume that comic books would be political or whether they would have like a more progressive slant to it. But of course, the greatest book of all time that conservatives love is the Bible, and yet they avoid all of the lessons that are supposed to be imparted on you within the Bible. So, you know. Makes sense.
Prove that we didn't live up to our documents, but the documents weren't flawed. It was the human beings, right?
Yeah. I mean, Lawrence, it sounds like Captain America may need a demotion to lieutenant after that speech. But this is what happens when you allow left-wing activists to write your comic books. And it reflects a kind of march through our cultural institutions, comic books, schools, and indoctrinating our kids to believe that kind of nonsense. Over the weekend, you saw the New York Times running a long story about how the flag, for goodness sake, is now a divisive symbol for many Americans. Look, we should be proud of our heritage and our founding principles. 245 years ago this weekend, our founding fathers declared our independence.
Listen, I am so pro free speech. I'm Tom Cotton, and I served in the U.S. military so I could defend your constitutional free speech laws. And what that constitutional free speech law means is that I think every comic book writer that has a leftist idea like equality or dare I say diversity that ever dares criticize America should be lined up against the wall and shot. Okay? That's what American free speech is all about, which is I can say the N-word, but if you criticize America, I will murder you. In a prison-style execution, okay? You will get lined up. We will shackle you to a pole and shoot you, okay? Military execution style, brother. That's what I'm here for. I love free speech. I'm a big defender of free speech, which means if you say, you know, slavery was bad, or the Civil War was not the war of northern aggression, that means you deserve to be shot. This is how free speech works, okay? I'm from Arkansas, everybody. Which is like Kansas, but with an AR in front of it, you know? If you know what I'm saying. That's why it's extra patriotic.
Not just because of local grievances over taxes or the quartering of soldiers, but because they wanted to found a new republic dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, as Abraham Lincoln said at the Gettysburg Address. Now, we haven't always achieved that in practice, but our history has been one of continually struggling to realize those ideals. That's exactly what Dr. Martin Luther King said in his I Have a Dream speech, in which he explicitly and repeatedly invoked the Declaration and said that our work is the full realization of America's founding principles. We should teach our children, whether it's in the schools or in our movies and television, or yes, our comic books, to be proud of and celebrate America's tradition.
It's pretty funny when, again, people who say like, people who say shit like, you know, wait, hold on one second. People who say shit like, I love freedom of speech, then turn around and in the same fucking light will be like, criticizing America is not a part of free speech. Also, like, Abraham Lincoln famously criticized America violently, actually. MLK, also famous critic of America. And the irony, of course, is that dipshits like this, the older versions of this dipshit, were the same people who were like, MLK's a terrorist and needs to be stopped. The only thing that'll cure MLK's a bullet to the head. You know, that's like the same attitude that his ilk, his kind had. They're just conservatives. This is how they are. Okay?
Traditions.
Right. I mean, the irony, he's Captain America, right, Senator? And I think you're spot on when you talk about this is the latest thing that they're taking over. And it's also self-serving because if the American
comic books have always been fucking woke. It's kind of stupid. The Republican Party during Lincoln literally wanted to abolish wage slavery. Meanwhile, we're fighting for $15 wage. Oh, yeah.
dream is dead. If it's rigged, guess what? We need big government. We need Democrats. So you're spot.
Dude, what the fuck? My man is crying about, like, the American dream being fake in a comic book. The solution to that is, like, literally government interference in the form of Republican legislatures making CRT illegal or whatever the fuck all around the country. And then they advocate for little, smaller government. You don't want smaller government. You want bigger government. You just want bigger government to do your bidding, which is, of course, a sideshow to hyper focus on and agitate the crowds with when your genuine interests are to keep robbing the American people and never helping them. I hate it, dude. These people who think America being criticized as blasphemy are the same people who would shed tears thinking about how it's illegal to criticize the government in North Korea. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking bullshit. And, of course, Captain America. Abolish Marvel, says Conceptual James. Captain America has always been a left-leaning character. In Captain America 180 in December 1974, Rogers becomes disillusioned with the United States government when he discovers that a high-ranking government official, heavily hinted to be the then President of the United States, Richard Nixon, is the leader of the terrorist organization known as the Secret Empire. Okay. So care to defend your terrible take on allowing gain-of-function research to continue when it clearly can't be contained in labs with current safety precautions? What? Super disappointed with Hassan after viewing the Crystal Kyle clip. Come on, man. This guy or girl just like waited for this opportunity. Dude, people will come in here and be like, we're friends. And, this, and I've been talking about this stuff for a while. So, I'm just gonna walk in here and act like, this is what you were talking about. Like, do you think we're having an extended conversation on gain of function research right now? That you just fucking came in here and are like, here to defend your comments, dude? That's kind of fucked. What I said on the Crystal Kyle clip was that gain of function research can be important, and the way to solve this problem is to improve safety measures rather than eliminate gain of function research in its entirety. That is my defense of gain of function research. But I guess it's enough for you to assume that it's gain of function research that was the reason why COVID happened in Wuhan. Like, I like that that's your... I like that you've gone with one theory over the other. Like, you've not only believed that theory now wholeheartedly because it corresponds to your personal biases, but you're also on top of that, like, willing to curb scientific research because you already believe the other theory. I like that. Cool. Not as cool as the top of the hour ad break that's coming right now, but still cool. What is this cringe ass take? We're going to look at this in a second. But if you'd like to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is free. Okay. Or an ad block or a VPN. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. The fascist right in America literally banning the truth, and people don't want to believe the Republican Party is currently further to the right than the Nazis were. The Nazis weren't very far right. They were very nationalist and very racist. Beyond that, they were mostly far left statists who had adopted a Hegelian frame. The right, the American right is not statist, far less nationalist than the Nazis, not racist, and generally not Hegelian. Dude, what a psycho, dude. Okay. I don't want to fucking talk about this. Like, assuming that the American far right is not statist is so dumb. They absolutely are. They want the state to destroy everything that does not correspond to their personal interest. Hegelian. Anyway, nearly a dozen armed men arrested in police standoff. I'm not interested in that. Trump slams indictments against the Trump
NBC's Ali
organization.
Vitale is in Sarasota, Florida, where the former president held a rally last night. Ali, good morning.
Hey, Willie, good morning. Former President Donald Trump back in his home state of Florida last night, but in a New York state of mind, reacting for the first time in public to the criminal indictments by the Manhattan DA against his company and its chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, for what prosecutors called a sweeping and audacious tax fraud scheme. Trump framing the charges as an ongoing political witch hunt that attacks, quote, good people simply for not paying taxes.
I love that he said that. It was my favorite part of the speech, where he self-reported that, like, these people did not pay taxes. It's such a weird way to defend an ongoing investigation into your organization not paying taxes. It's very strange to me. And then he literally said, these people, they're targeting my people for not paying taxes, but they should be targeting murderers instead. It's like the government should not target people who are doing tax avoidance or tax evasion, rather.
Never before has New York City and their prosecutors, or perhaps any prosecutors, criminally charged a company or a person for fringe benefits. Fringe benefits. Murder's okay. Human trafficking, no
Yeah, it's just American government said murder's fine, dude.
problem, but fringe benefits.
I love when dumbass like small business owners in the background are like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, white collar crime is perfect. It's like, dude, you own a nail salon, okay? You max out at $100K a year. Shut the fuck up. These guys are literally stealing billions of people like yourself who work for them. They're taking billions of dollars of profit from them, designing a system in which where they can like openly evade taxes. And it is the reason why your stupid fucking infrastructure is crumbling, okay? Not because like Democrats are in charge or whatever the fuck your dumbass hog brain believes, but because straight up people like Donald Trump or the people that Donald Trump works for when he was president are making sure that the American coffers are not filled to the brim with the tremendous amount of wealth that the American working class generates for the billionaires and the capital owners. Jesus Christ.
You can't do that.
An important caveat to keep in mind here, Willie, Trump is starting to take a more public posture over these next few weeks, holding rallies to energize the base ahead of the midterm elections, but also to fortify his own political brand. By staying in the political game, teasing another presidential run, and campaigning for MAGA-approved candidates, the former president can more easily try to categorize his multiple legal proceedings as unjust partisan attacks, claims his critics dispute. Willie?
And those indictments in New York may just be the tip of the iceberg. We will see. Ali Vitale in Sarasota, Florida. Ali, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.
On a day meant for unity and celebration, but we have to face the truth that America is certainly divided this 4th of July. What should unite us only seems to further divide us, and the line between fact and fiction gets blurrier by the day. The Capitol insurrection, who incited it, who is responsible for it, is a perfect example. The truth is, a violent mob tried to overthrow democracy on behalf of a former president and his lies, and there's no shortage of people.
Sorry. I know it auto-played to the next video. We are going to do a visual investigation. Okay, I don't care about Acosta, but I do want to watch the New York Times visual investigation. There are some graphic scenes in here of the mob. We're going to do a JCS style. We're going to do a JCS style visual investigation into the January 6th. We didn't watch it. I clicked on it the other day and I never played. Man, you go to the toilet very often. Have you been checked for diabetes? Yes, dude. Your mom checked me for diabetes after sucking my cock, okay? What the fuck is wrong with people, dude? I can't even fucking pee regularly without motherfuckers being like, dude, you probably have diabetes. Stop backseating my health, okay? God damn. It is so intrusive and so incredibly fucking annoying. It literally makes me not want to fucking stream. Makes me so fucking mad, dude. Like, I literally can't go pee without people being like, oh, you must have diabetes, dude. You should probably get checked. Stop crying, lol. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just understand that it's fucking annoying when people backseat literally every single aspect of my life. You're so sensitive, lol. Yeah, I know. There you go. Fuck. I'm a fucking human being, guys, okay? And I get frustrated when you micromanage every aspect of my life. Very annoying. It's actually just a boundary that I am setting, okay? Please. Don't know why people immediately retort with like, why so sensitive, dude? It's like, you would never do this. Like, there is no other world in which you go up to a random person, okay, that you don't know personally, or even a person that you know personally, and behave this way. But for some reason, it's like, I'm the content monkey on the other side of the camera, and it's always like, it's just weird. You read this, I hope you remember your man's Justice Stanton. What's up, African Snowball? Yeah, I remember you. Of course. I don't get why you would set boundaries. Other better streamers let us walk all over them and take over their lives. Be a puppet and give us our ad break. I already did. I already did the ad break. Okay, let's get into it. We're watching the riot.
The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it...
You can always get a job if you're unhappy being self-employed. Well, the wonderful part about this is that despite the fact that you've given me $15, when you're being a fucking incredibly annoying dick, one of the beautiful parts about that is that I can set my own boundaries. Okay? Here's a boundary. If you're going to be a fucking unaware dickhead with zero self-awareness and condescending dipshit, then I can just ban you and never hear about you or never think about you for the rest of my fucking life, which is awesome, okay? I know you feel entitled because you gave me $15 fucking over the course of 3 months. So you think like, well, no, he's going to sit here and take all this shit. Well, the beautiful part about it is that I don't have to do that, which is precisely why I do this rather than, you know, work under someone else. All right, let's watch.
Stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Creepy as fuck.
They came from all 50 states. Out of some sense of patriotic duty.
It's so much more than just rallying for President Trump. It's really rallying for our way of life, the American dream, against fake news.
To protest an election they believed had been stolen.
We're here, patriots. We're in Washington, D.C., Capitol building dead in front of us.
Their day of action would be January 6th, when Congress would count electoral ballots and ratify the 2020 election results. For some, it was just a rally for their president. For others, it was a call to arms.
We have the power in numbers. March on Congress directly after Trump's speech.
In the weeks beforehand, There were over 1 million mentions on social media of storming the Capitol. Maps were shared of the building's layout. There was talk of bringing weapons and ammunition, and discussion over which lawmakers should be targeted first. This anger was based on a lie.
This election was a fraud.
A lie that had grown more frenzied after the election.
President Trump won this election.
They were flipping votes.
Steal the election in Philadelphia.
When you win in a landslide, and they
steal the election in Atlanta.
And it's rigged.
Steal the election in Milwaukee.
It's not acceptable.
This is outrageous.
A lie spread by the president and his closest allies.
Let's call out cheating when we find it.
Some of whom stoked calls for violence.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. Everyone's going to remember who actually stands in the breach and fights tomorrow and who goes running off like a chicken.
We bleed freedom.
This will be their Waterloo.
And we will sacrifice for freedom.
This will be their destruction.
So here's the thing. And this needs to be repeated regularly, okay? What these guys were doing, okay? What these guys were doing and what they continue to do is what Republicans have always done. And that is lie about the elections consistently being stolen. That's literally all they fucking do. The only way to justify aggressively limiting who can vote is by originally creating this false notion, this understanding that there is a election that is being stolen by illegal immigrants or whatever the fuck. And everyone, all the way from Donald Trump to all of these other Republicans, down to Paul Ryan, who is seen as like the reasonable Republican, has always cast doubt on the integrity of American elections. The George W. Bush administration, despite doing fraud themselves, literally had a election integrity committee. The Donald Trump administration had an election integrity committee. All of those committees found that there was no electoral fraud, or rather, not electoral fraud, there was no voter fraud beyond such marginal instances that it is laughable to spend any time trying to right this wrong or trying to correct it. The existing measures are more than enough. The real problem in America is not necessarily that too many people are voting. It's that not enough people are voting. Let's keep going.
What happened next was chaos.
They broke the glass.
Insurrection.
Take it now! Treason!
Death. Then there began a campaign to whitewash history, starting at the top.
It was a zero threat. Right from the start, it was zero threat.
And spreading throughout the Republican Party.
Even calling it an insurrection, it wasn't. By and large, it was peaceful protests.
One lawmaker who helped barricade the House doors now suggests there was barely any threat.
If you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
A tourist visit?
I mean, they're not wrong. Cops did open up the floodgates, as you would a normal tourist visit. So I guess, you know, I'm confused. I wonder if this congressperson always barricades the doors at the normal tourist visits that are happening. I mean, there is no better. We talk about this and it's a fucking cliche, but I mean, this is literally like, well, it's okay if white people are doing it. That's it. Well, are they conservative? Are they white? All right, then. They're not terrorists. They're doing it for a good cause, brother. They're not insurrectionists. They're doing it for a good cause, brother. That's it.
This was not. And the proof is in the footage. As part of a 6-month investigation,
Dude. 5 people die at the Capitol every day, dude. I mean, normal tourist visits end up with 5 dead, like, all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. With, like, cops being trampled. you know, people violently breaking into the Capitol literally every day.
The New York Times has collected and forensically analysed thousands of videos, most filmed by the rioters themselves. We obtained internal police radio traffic and went to court to unseal police body cam footage. Our reconstruction shows the Capitol riot for what it was: a violent assault encouraged by the president on a seat of democracy that he vowed to protect. We'll chart how police leaders failed to heed warnings of an impending attack, putting...
The most beautiful part about this all was that it was conservatives, therefore they had no care in, you know, hiding what they were doing. Like, they were just so... They were so confident that nothing was going to happen to them that they literally live streamed them breaking into the fucking Capitol.
Rank and file officers in danger.
Pretty awesome.
We'll track key instigators in the mob, taking advantage of weaknesses in the Capitol's defences to ignite a wave of violence that engulfed the building. We'll show for the first time the many simultaneous points of attack and the 8 breaches of what appeared to be an impenetrable institution of government. We'll show how the delay to secure Congress likely cost a rioter her life.
And when it's BLM protests, they conveniently have enough police to squash them. Shut up, dude. You're talking to me, or are you talking to the person who's making this video? I mean, we watched videos from that day where cops literally let them in and were high-fiving them and taking photos with some of the people. There are currently ongoing investigations within the Capitol Hill Police Department, which is obviously not going to go anywhere because, come on, cops investigating other cops, that will look into whether or not there was a little bit of inside baseball. If you think that a crowd of black people upset about the way policing works in this country would be able to get this far into the Capitol building, you are delusional. Into Congress, you are out of your mind. That was just never, ever happened.
And how for some, storming the Capitol was part of the plan all along.
In fact, tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested.
Well, let's not say it.
We need to go. I'll say it.
It's literally a Nazi, dude. It's baked Alaska. The Nazi has better wherewithal than the Trump supporter Boomer. I'll say it. I'll say all the bad things. I'll say it.
All right. We need to go in to the Capitol.
Let's go!
He said, shut the fuck up, Boomer.
It's the morning of January 6th, and thousands are filling the National Mall in Washington. Trump will speak here at the Ellipse, a large park near the White House and a half-hour walk to the US Capitol, where the election will be certified. Who's actually in this crowd? Most are ordinary.
Hi, Son. Sorry for being annoying, but the dude who sexually assaulted me and a bunch of other girls loved you and watches you all the time. He calls himself a leftist just to get girls' trust. I know you would hate him, and I just want to call... What? I know you would hate him and just want you to call dudes out who called themselves leftists as a front? What? That vegetarian girl? What the fuck? This person kept spamming this for 30 hours? What is going on? Okay. Yeah, fuck that guy. Don't do that? I don't know what to say. Not 30 hours, but 30 minutes. I don't know what you want me to do about it. But I'm sorry that happened to you. You know? He wants you to call those people out. It's in the message you read. Okay? Don't be a fake leftist to do sexual assault. Please?